It is the season for some people of gift giving, and for some other people that season lasts throughout the year. And just such a person is close friend of the channel's Paul Hatcher, who has on occasions before sent us boxes of comics all the way from Northampton, the UK. I've marked those occasions by celebrating those packages in our mail time videos, which I'll link in the description below. And as a repeat offender, he has once again sent us a box of comics. I received this a couple of months ago, but things were very hectic, so I've just got around to opening it. As before, Paul has sent me a curated selection of comics that he thinks might be of interest to me, I may not have encountered before, and as before, this is accompanied by a letter in which he gives me a brief take on what these comics mean to him. Now, although I have before shared the comics that he has sent me, I've never shared his commentary, something I thought I could change with this video. So join me and co-host Paul Hatcher in going through yet another selection of British comics.
Well, here we are again with another box of comic delights to add to your splendid collection. We'll start top to bottom with Giles, a 100% British cartoonist whom you may not have heard of. Giles was for many years the cartoonist for the Daily Express, a mid-market tabloid newspaper. Giles was a little bit before my time really and is rather old-fashioned, but I always loved the art, and Gran is a really great character. Most of the jokes are over my head as I think you had to be there at the time. My grandparents had a couple of Giles books like this one, and I used to love looking at them as a kid each time I visited them, although I never got any of the jokes. Keeping with the theme of newspaper cartoonists, here's a book by Steve Bell, the cartoonist supreme from the Guardian newspaper. His If strip has now finished, but he still does editorial cartoons, which you can see online on the Guardian website. Steve Bell was the cartoonist that really made me want to try cartooning for myself. The If Chronicles is just genius, although without the context of mid-80s British politics and the cabinet members of the Conservatives in power at the time, all real characters, I think most of this might go over your head. That said, there are many great surreal jokes, so this book is very much worth the effort. I really love this book. Action, mystery, thrills, one of my all-time favorite books. I'm not kidding. Some of it is just completely mental. Check out the flying train, the decapitation, the racism, the submissive roles of women as damsels in distress, and more. Hard to find now, I gather, as it's OOP, so treasure this treasure. By this shall you know him. Everything by Jesse Jacobs is worthy of your time, although his books can be hard to find as he does a lot of small print runs with various indie publishers. His work has a genuine weird streak, yet is very accessible and very interesting. The art is always great. If you can, buy Crawl Space, the first Jesse Jacobs book I bought solely because the cover intrigued me. It's great. Driving Short Distances by Geoff Winterhart. This was recommended in The Guardian as Graphic Novel of the Month, but like many of their other recommendations, it didn't really do that much for me. I'm afraid the cynic in me thinks The Guardian has a tendency to promote comics that are worthy, as you'll never see a good superhero book as Graphic Novel of the Month if there's a book about a worthy issue doing the rounds, if you get my drift. This book was okay. I think you might appreciate it more than me. I bought a total of 5 recommended books as a result of Graphic Novel of the Month, and the rest quickly went into the comic shop's bargain bin. I don't know why I kept this one, but now it's yours. Charlie's War, Volumes 1 through 4. Pat Mills's best ever work. Charlie's War was published in the British Kids' War comic Battle, published by IPC, the same publisher as 2000 AD. I was buying Battle each week before I changed over to 2000 AD. My pocket money didn't stretch to both. The art repro is not great, which is a real shame as the art is sublime. Charlie's War was the standout strip in Battle by far, as you will see from Pat Mills's excellent commentary in the back of these books. There are 10 volumes in the hardback series, but unfortunately the last few are expensive and hard to find. Rebellion have reprinted a slightly smaller paperback series of Charlie's War with remastered art, which might be a better option if you like these books, which you will, I'm sure. The fourth book here, Blue's Story, was very popular at the time, and I was lucky enough to be buying Battle during that period. Pat Mills never topped this work. Magnificent stuff. Herge and Tintin. I've had this book for years, but I've never read it. It was originally Alan Moore's copy. I must get around to telling you the amazing and completely mental story of how loads of Moore's comics and books came into my hands, but this letter is already too long. As a die-hard Tintin fan, this book has to go to you really, as I'm sure you'll appreciate it more than me.
I hope you enjoyed going through that box and those comments as much as I did. Thank you, Paul, and thank you, every one of you, whether you've watched one of my videos or a whole bunch of them. Thank you so much for taking the time to share with me this passion for comics, for commenting on my videos, for reaching out over chat on Instagram or Twitter, Facebook. And I've had a great time talking with all of you one-on-one in the comments, but also as a group. The Discord channel for the Love of Comics has been a great place for me to find new comics, and every single day I'm just flattered by how much support and generosity I get from all of you. I hope you had a good year. I hope the next one is even better. And for those of you who haven't had a good year, I know I've talked to some of you about the tough times that all of us are going through in some way or the other. I hope the next one is better. This has been For the Love of Comics. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.